Survival theories. Remember, these are just theories.
Alright, so this is how to defend against the coronavirus. I guess I'll leave it that way. Alright, so the main thing is not necessarily defeating the coronavirus or beating it or anything like that directly. That would be better done through vaccine. But the main idea here for me is to not get sick. Do what you can not to get sick in general. God forbid you get the coronavirus, but if you do, at least you would know more often than not that it is the coronavirus that you're currently sick of if you get sick than any other disease. You don't want to be in a scenario where one day you wake up and you suddenly feel sick, and then all you can think of is oh, coronavirus, and then it turns out it's not. So you don't want to get sick in general. I mean, it's just common sense. This is more just basic practice. It's cold and flu season. We're supposed to be taking care of ourselves. Reducing getting sick as much as possible. Being healthy, exercise. Eat good, all that stuff during this time. Anyway, during this season or time of year, whatever you want to call it, right? Period. And then on top of that, we got the corona thing, right? So these are things you could be doing, should be doing. For example, having air purifiers is good because it purifies the air, right? It's filtered. It filters out the air for you. It'll filter out all types of things like dust. You don't want to be breathing in and out dust anyway. So it's a good idea to use this to filter out the dust in your air, so that way your air is cleaner, so that way you're just breathing in oxygen, right? O2. You don't want to be breathing in dust. And if you have allergies, this, that, and the third, obviously, you don't want to be breathing in pollen or anything you might be allergic to, cat hairs, dog hair, whatever, so forth and so forth. So air purifier is something you should definitely have. In general, if you don't have it at the moment, then you'll be fine without it for a while. I still highly recommend to get one. I got one not too long ago, so that was awesome. I've been meaning to get one for a long while, and it's better now than never, right? Better to get it now during this time than to not get it. I've been wanting one for a long while. So air purifier, something you wanna have. In general, you want nice clean air. Lysol disinfectant. Obviously, you can spray surfaces and wipe down surfaces with this, and kill 99.9% of germs, including human coronavirus, which is written on the back. But not exactly COVID-19, of course. But yeah, at least it can kill all the other ones. But you just want to get rid of as many, because there's bacteria and viruses and germs and microorganisms all over the planet, everywhere. So it's like, it's hard to avoid. The only way to avoid all of this stuff is to not be on this planet. To go to another planet or something, right? Not gonna happen. So got to deal with what's around us at all, which is why it's important, the idea of cleaning the air, purifying the air that's in your living space, whether you're in your office or you're at home in a bedroom or living room or something. You want to have more control of the air that's in there as possible, so you want to clean it and purify it as much as possible, because you need air, right? So disinfecting the air, something you can do is, I tend to do a lot, is spray directly straight up at the ceiling and try to spray the ceiling, and then most of the Lysol spray will come down from the ceiling, so it'll rain down on the rest of the area. So it'll go through the air, obviously, and then hit the floor eventually. So that's what I do, because I'm trying to make sure everything from top to bottom is disinfected as much as possible. So I tend to spray at the ceiling. I know most people don't. Most people spray in front of them or around them, and then that's it. and then it just goes from chest level down. Some of it might float up to the ceiling, but I always start off spraying straight up at the ceiling and then let it fall from the ceiling down to the ground. That's just me. Pro tip, I guess. You can use this, of course, paper towels and toilet paper and whatnot to, dry off surfaces. So you spray down surfaces with this and then wipe it down with towels and stuff. It's also important to reduce as much dust. So like wiping down surfaces in general, just to get rid of dust, because it does have a lot of stuff in it, including microorganisms and and things of that nature. So you just don't want dust around anyway. So just wipe down a whole bunch of surfaces and clean up all that dust. If you see dust on your TV, wipe it off. You know what I mean? It's better to do that anyway. But then on top of that, improve your environment, so that improves your health, right? Then pair out hand sanitizer, sanitize your hands. I always recommend to also put it around your mouth and nose area, so just rub it on your face. Because germs want to get in through your nose and mouth, so you want to purify that as much as possible, right? Purell. Wash your hands with soap, of course, right? Take a shower, wash your body from top to bottom, obviously. But then you want to make sure you're dry, so try to be as dry as possible. You don't want to be wet. You could get sick that way, obviously. So you want to make sure you're dry as possible. Don't let your hair stay wet. Let it dry it off as soon as possible. Things of that nature. Hand sanitizer. What else I was gonna say about it? Wash your hands with soap first, and then after that you'll just use hand sanitizer periodically. Especially if you're touching a lot of surfaces, you might want to put hand sanitizer in that regards. You can wear gloves, of course. That's not an option. Reusable face masks. Way better to use that than to use any disposable mask, because you can clean and wash and disinfect the reusable face mask. Especially if you're inside, quarantine. You're just, if you're using the Lysol spray and hand sanitizer and the air purifier, you're already doing a lot to deal with germs and viruses and stuff like that. So the mask is more of just an extra layer, just a way of preventing dust from having dust, just a whole bunch of dust going up your nose, right? That's another thing. When you are wearing a mask, or just in general, even if you're not wearing a mask, try not to breathe through your mouth. Try to breathe through your nose. All right, so a little bit of science. Your nose has, if you have nose hairs, there's that factor. Nose hairs, mucus, boogers, whatever you want to call it, right? Your nose is designed genetically to help you filter out, dust and germs and viruses as much as possible. It's not a perfect system, but it tries its best. And the mucus, aka boogers, its job is to collect and grab and soak up like a sponge as much germs and virus and dust particles that it can, and you're supposed to let it out, right? You're supposed to let the mucus out. That's why you blow your nose and you sneeze and all that stuff. That's why sometimes you get a runny nose when you're really sick, because that's your body literally trying to flush out some bad stuff, some bad germs and stuff out your body. So you want that to happen. Really try to avoid swallowing any mucus, because all you're doing is just literally just taking a whole payload of germs and viruses straight into your system. And the mucus immediately goes into your chest area where your lungs are, and then it can become a problem after that. So mucus in your chest area is obviously gonna make it hard to breathe, and you're going to be coughing a lot because it's trying to get rid of it, it's trying to get it back out. So make sure you try to let the mucus out the body, let it out. You want the disease out your body. So that's some science there for you. Got to make sure you let that stuff out. So blow your nose, cough, not cough into like a napkin or something. Catch the viruses and diseases and anything that needs to get out of your system as much as possible. There's another thing I like to do is have like a plastic bottle or something and disinfect it, like spray some like Lysol disinfectant or hand sanitizer or something like that into maybe even a little bit of Clark's bleach or in some water into a little bottle, and then use that as a a disinfectant bottle, basically, where the idea is you spit, like if you're hawking up mucus, you spit it in there, close it up, and just something I do sometimes, because it's not a good idea to spit everywhere. Don't be spitting up in your spitting on the floor out in public. This is something you will mainly use out more so in public. If you're at home, you should have access to paper towels and stuff like that and spit right into that instead. That works just as fine. But if you're out in public, and for some reason you don't have tissues or toilet paper or napkins with you, which you should have with you at all times anyway if you're traveling, during this time, cold and flu season, especially if you're coughing and you have some mucus in your lungs, you want to cough it up. Make sure you have napkins for that. Still trying to figure out there has to be a method to make you cough up mucus faster. I think it's like maybe boil water and just inhale the steam from the boiling water might help you cough up mucus from your lungs. Think that's the case, or it's probably a more elaborate strategy for that. Anyway, getting off topic of it, going into a tangent. The mask is more so just to obviously prevent a whole bunch of stuff from just bombarding you. But like I said, you use your nose more than your mouth. So unless you really need to talk, keep your mouth closed as much as possible. Use your nose more. It's designed for a purpose. Wear the face mask. It's a good idea to wear the face mask while you're sleeping, more so than anything. Because when you're sleeping, you don't have control of, of your mouth or nose and whatnot. You might end up, breathing through your mouth while you're sleeping, right? So that's why a face mask is good, because if you end up breathing through your mouth, that's okay. You're wearing the face mask, so it gives you some level of protection. So face mask is good to have, mainly, especially when you're sleeping. You can wear it while you're awake, of course, but I definitely like the idea of wearing it while sleeping, because that's where especially if you're sleeping for like 8 to 10 hours, that's where you're more vulnerable, right? 8 to 10 hours where you're not trying to not breathe in coronavirus, right? Or any virus in general. So a face mask is good for when you're sleeping. So that's just a big recommendation from me on that. Then gloves, obviously an extra layer of protection, so you don't this will reduce the need to use like hand sanitizer all the time, especially if you're trying to conserve your hand sanitizer for like when you really need it or something. So you can obviously wear this if you're going to be doing a lot of things with your hands, if you're going to be doing a lot of activities with your hand, or if for some reason you decide you want to clean your basement or something, or clean your attic or something during this time, then you might want to have some like rubber gloves. I like these types, but you can probably use like the disposable kinds, but these are reusable, because you can wash them and reuse them, wash them, reuse them. So I prefer these. especially if I'm going to be doing any hands-on activity like working on something. Maybe, if you're a mechanic, you're more likely using the stuff already anyway, so you get the idea. So if you're a pretty active person with your hands, you might want to use this version. But you can use disposable ones if you got them. But the thing is, with disposable means you use them and you throw them away. You use them, you throw them away. So eventually you're gonna run out, right? So I prefer things that are reusable. You definitely should be using reusable stuff, especially if you have kids. Anything reusable is very useful, especially with your kids, because they're kids. Things happen. They get dirty and whatnot. Reusable, like I recommended this to somebody. Reusable. What was it called? Reusable pamper or something like a reusable, a cloth diaper, and use stuff like that because it's reusable, especially if you have a young child. Let's see. This is the okay. Yeah, that's a heater. But all right. So you not only you want to utilize gloves and face masks, long sleeve shirts, preferably long sleeve shirts with turtlenecks, sweatpants, because they'll keep you warm, and being warm is very important. You want to be as warm as possible. You want your environment to be as warm as possible, so that's where a heater comes in. Sweatpants, long sleeve shirt. Plus it's cold. It's cold. It's winter season. You should be trying to be warm anyway, so put on your winter clothes on. Preferably long sleeve, long pants type shirts. You want to be wearing stuff like that are long, because you're trying obviously cover your body. You're trying to keep your body from having anything on the surface, as it were. You do have pores, so keep that in mind. Coronavirus, it travels in droplets, moisture, so that's why you want to protect your skin and other surfaces, specifically your body, right, as much as possible. So that's why long sleeve shirts and sweatpants are useful. But you also want to do layers, not just have one layer, but 2 layers, maybe 3. So that's why like long sleeve shirts, sweatpants, or just some long pants, or whole onesie or a pajamas or a set of pajamas, and then put on a robe. Yeah, you can hear I have a little bit of mucus in me. Trying to wash it down. Alright, so what was it? So yeah, onesies, this, that, and a third. And so that's what you want to do, like clothing wise, keep, protect your body, stay dry. And okay, so heaters, try to keep your house warm. Tape up the windows. Tape up the windows, edges. You want to do that especially if you're using, you're disinfecting the air and you're using air purifier and stuff like that. You're warming up the air with the heaters. You don't want any outside air coming in, or you want to reduce as much of the outside air coming in, basically infecting your purified air and whatnot, and your quarantine zone. So you want to weatherproof your windows. UV lamps or heating lamps will be useful, because you can heat up certain areas, especially if you use like a heating lamp in the bathroom. You can turn the bathroom into like a sanitation room. Give me a second. There we go. Gotta stay healthy. Alright. So turn the bathroom into like a sanitation room, where you obviously have hand sanitizer, disinfecting spray, UV lamps, or just a heater, or a combination of both. You want to keep that room nice, and you want to keep it clean. Wipe it down, good, the good stuff. Obviously, you're gonna be using the shower. Just make sure there's bar soap. I tend to use liquid soap, but it turns out that bar soap is better, especially for germs and stuff like that. So I would recommend bar soap because it's more recommended. It's better, so why not use what's better? Even if I still tend to use liquid soap, especially I use body wash. So I haven't used bar soap in years. So liquid soap is good enough. Just remember that it's good enough. But why not take it to the next step and just use the bar soap, which is better for now. And let's see, vitamin C. Getting your vitamin C, strengthen your immune system. Orange juice is what I mainly drink. Man, I wish I had some right now. So, gotta eat healthy. I don't have much advice on that aspect right now. Vitamin C is like, just in general, you should definitely make sure you have vitamin C in your diet right now during cold and flu season. There's other things you should be drinking and eating and stuff like that to keep yourself strong. Right now, the best I could say is orange juice for now. Make sure you're getting enough vitamin C at the moment. But you can always go online and learn more about being healthy and about strengthening your immune system. You can obviously Google it and find other things you can drink and eat that will keep you strong. I also like drinking green tea, so that's another thing you can consider. Green tea. I get the Arizona green tea. That's my green tea. It's the Arizona one. I just drink any orange juice, Tropicana, Rita, no, whatever. Welch's. I think Welch's. Yeah, they got one. So whatever orange juice I can get my hands on, I drink that. Right, dealing with boredom, because most people are quarantined. Most people used to doing stuff that requires them to leave the house, and now they have to be home, so they're not used to it as much as most of us are. I'm definitely used to it, so it doesn't bother me. Actually, I want to be home more than going to work. I gotta go to work though. But good thing they reduced my hours, so I have more time at home than I do at work, so it's good for me. So I'm okay with it, spending more time at home, because I'd rather spend more time at home. I do got stuff to do. Plus, I can quarantine myself and purify my air with my air purifier. I gotta plug it up soon, and all that good stuff. Plus, I got all my stuff here, so I might as well I want to be here with my stuff. Anyway, reading books, sleep more. That way time goes faster. Don't stay awake on purpose for hours and hours, feeling bored, not having nothing to do. It's like, if you got nothing to do, why are you awake, right? Like, if you got nothing to do, sleep. Go to sleep and and have some really good dreams. You know what I mean? Time will go faster that way. So take more naps, sleep more. Exercise. That's always a good idea. Watch videos, movies, or play games. Find some ways to entertain yourself. Again, reading books is good, because the thing about books is, especially if they have a lot of pages, like if you got an encyclopedia, I recommend reading that. Go in there. That's a paper version of Google. If you got an encyclopedia, you need to start putting that to work right now. But if you got the internet, Obviously, why not just go to Google and Google whatever you want? I'm just saying, just get your education on. But the thing about books is that they don't rely on power, so you don't have to, you know, they don't require electricity in order for you to use a book. So that's why I said read books instead of just saying read things on the internet. But yeah, you use whatever you got. But if you, again, you know, books are good. Lots of books. It's always good to read, and it don't even have to be books. You can just read stuff in general. I mean, you might have a game, like a board game. Like you might have a chess board. And that's another thing. Play games like chess and stuff like that. You know, and expand your horizon, as it were, and you know, gain a new skill. Why not? Why not learn how to play chess? Even I'm doing some chess studying right now myself, because I like chess. Plus I'm doing some computer program. I'm teaching myself how to program my own card game. Might as well show off a bit. Here's my card game. So here's something I'm working on. See, using my free time wisely. See, I got my own little card game. Might as well boot it up right quick, so I can show you some of what I've done. So it's always good, you know, because a lot of times you need time to do stuff, right? So I highly recommend, it's like, if you have extra free time, you feel bored, why don't you get in, you know, learn a new skill, and then use that skill during this downtime, during this you know, quarantine, during all this free time you have. That way, after all this whole quarantine thing and coronavirus thing is done with, you have something new, something you can use. I'm always trying to upgrade myself whenever I have free time. And now I have some extra free time, so I'm going to use it. So let's see, push the game, loads up the cards. It's my turn, so I'll make a move. My opponent has the ability to respond, and they can stop me. Obviously, I haven't put the AI feature. I haven't programmed the game to play against me, so I'm actually playing against myself, so I can control most of the stuff. So I end my turn. It's my opponent's turn. He makes a move. I can't stop him, so he ends his turn. He can make a play here, but it's not recommended to use this card yet. So then it's my turn. I can use this card to search. Let me show off how that looks. Play the card, click on the deck. Now here's the list of the deck. So here's all the different types of cards I can choose. Ironically, I need a shield, so I'll add that to my hand. You see now it's in my hand. So now I end my turn. My opponent's turn, he can make a move. Boop, boop, boop. And as you can see, it's obviously a tic-tac-toe type of game, but with some extra elements to it. I can check the graveyard. As you can see in my graveyard, I have that shield card, which was countered earlier, and then my search card that I just played. So there's that. And I'm not going to go through the whole process of playing the whole game. Oh, I might as well do this. Oh no, it's not my turn, it's my opponent's turn. Right? Oh yeah, it's my opponent's turn. Okay, they ended it. Now it's my turn. I make a move. I'll play that because I want my opponent to win, so that we can see. Bang, they play a card. They end their turn, and bang, they're the winner. Player 2 wins because they got 3 in a row. Alright, so you get the idea. I'm still working on some certain details. I'm still working on this before I get to the AI portion. The game, you know, with the game where I could play against the game itself and have the game play against me. And that's the end of this video.